See how that works.
Powered by Riverside.
I love
By
those
Riverside
that
FM.
have no idea what I'm doing. I am just testing, messing with some things. So I appreciate you stopping by. If you can't hear me or if I sound like garbage, please let me know. I'm using Riverside FM for the first time, so I and again I'm trying to do this via Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the same time. TikTok kind of has me in some purgatory because I haven't used TikTok Live Studio enough over the years. So everybody just wants you to use their stuff. So I'm about to go live on TikTok as well. We shall see how this works out. Let's see. All right, just bear with me. I appreciate you. Local compliance checkup. Let Live Studio check your content locally to help comply with community guidelines. You know, I will have to say that content disclosure. Let's bring it. Yeah, no. We're not doing all that. We're not doing that. Yeah. We're not doing that. Co-host is now available. You can now co-host a live session with up to 3 others. Yeah, I'm not doing that either. So we shall see. As long as my chat pops up, that's all I really care about. Whoever's watching on YouTube, if that's loose, I appreciate it. Let me see. Yeah, I am like a. It's really hard to see. What is up, TikTok? What is good? How is everyone? Can you hear me? Okay. And if you're just stopping by, I'm going live at 2:30 in the morning. I'm playing with some things, with different mics and Riverside FM, and I'm trying this on also live on YouTube and X at the moment. When everything goes well, I'm just checking equipment, all that good stuff. So let's see. Let's see what. All right. Well, I look okay on X. All right. Sorry. I really don't even need this headset. Really. Can y'all hear me all right? And I'm going to mess with my mic over the course of the next few days. Hopefully all of that works out all right. What's good, beautiful people of TikTok? What is happening? I'm trying to I haven't used TikTok Live Studio like at all. So it's Tim's Boom Boom Room. I love that. That's phenomenal. Yeah, I'm like over my head, way over my head, not way over my head, but what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to achieve here. But I appreciate y'all bearing with me, and it's like watching paint dry. Watching paint dry may be more exciting than me tooling around trying to figure all this nonsense out at the moment. But because this, like I said, this is the first time I've been on what time viewer count for. That's all right. I'm good with that. That's why I dicked around and waited till 2:30 in the morning to do this. But I'm also trying to see at the same time. Oh, right on. Well, I can see like I said, I'm usually looking at my phone, and I usually go live from TikTok with my phone. But TikTok has dicked around, and they've changed so many different things that I, at once upon a time, used to be able to do that I can't do anymore. Um, and of course, I've always tried to, I've always talked about getting a podcast together and doing that eventually one day. Well, I'm much closer to that. However, I instead of doing things separately, I want to do it all together. So I'm trying to find the best way to do that. TikTok's the only one that's being difficult in doing that. So, oh, did you just change your name? Do you have to get a new account completely? Because that sucks. I remember doing that very early on when I got on TikTok, and it blows. And I have a backup account on TikTok, and it was recently taken down because it said I was let's see, it said I was pretending to be me. Basically, I was pretending to be someone else. Bryce, I see you in here. That's awesome, and it shows up YouTube. Thank you, Bryce. If you're still here, thank you. Yeah, if I would have done this earlier, I'm glad I waited. I was trying to wait till it was a little bit later, but all right, that's cool. So for those that don't know, I use something called Riverside FM, which that's what for those that are watching on YouTube or X at the moment, that is what I'm using to get to you. I cannot use. I will at one point, but TikTok's making me use TikTok Live Studio at least 3 times for 25 minutes, which is stupid. Going live from my mobile device does not count, so I have to go live using TikTok Studio on its own before I can integrate that in, and I'm just using one platform to go live to all my social media platforms, which has been my overall plan and what I've wanted to do all along. So, but how is everyone? For those that don't know, for the few of you that are here and listen to me yap, it's been probably a week, maybe 2 since I was on last, and people say, "Hey, you changed things up behind you." Yeah, I changed things up a lot, and I changed things up because I'm not where I used to be. Matter of fact, I'm not even in Indiana at the moment. So not sure how much longer that will be. But I'm not going into the weeds on that a whole lot because the last time I went live, I I ended up that's all I talked about, and I didn't want to because I come on here to try to be positive and uplifting, or at least happy, somewhat. And long story short, we lost our house, almost about half of everything in it, and where I was at the department that I was at, I lost my job about 6 days later, 5 or 6 days later. So lost my house and my job all in the same week, and it's been a lot. So we are in we're in Pinellas County, Florida, in Tampa, near Tampa. So I came down here for a couple of work opportunities, and that's how we ended up here. I don't know how long we'll be here. I've got a couple of things. I may end up going back to Indy. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I do miss being at home. I miss, you know, luckily the Pacers didn't do great this season, so I didn't miss out a whole lot. But the Fever season's coming up. We just signed my Shayla. We just re-signed Sophie Cunningham, so I'm super stoked about that. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not super stuck on being here in Tampa, but I will say this: being here all winter, or most of the winter, has been pretty cool. And I say cool as in I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the sun, and you know, going through something like what my family and I just went through. That it was nice to be here because I don't know. I'll be honest with you, it's been a struggle. I've been on the struggle bus without a doubt, and hopefully, I not hopefully, but I'm on the upswing of things, and I plan to get out of that. So that's where I'm at. I do love sunny Florida. It's nice, but we do miss the seasons. I do miss Indy. I just the month of May in Indianapolis, Indiana, for those that have never been there or anything like that. If you've never been to Indy in the month of May, um, during the Indy 500, that is absolutely 110% a bucket list item. And what I mean by a bucket list item is that is absolutely something that you have to go do before, good Lord willing, before, your ticket gets punched or pulled and the good Lord calls you home. It make it to, the crossroads of America, make it to Indianapolis in the month of May. You don't even have to go for the race, even though the race is something like nothing else. There's no other. It's the largest single day sporting event anywhere in the world, and to be in a place where there's 350,000 people attending to see an event, it is overwhelming. You really get to see how many people, how truly minute you are or we are, and how many people they're just there truly is just walking around in the world. But it's overwhelming, but it's a very very cool thing. It's a very cool feeling, and it happens every Memorial Day weekend in Indianapolis. So check it out. And if you ever hear me, if you're new here, I'm also Craig. We talk life, law, and football. Thank you. If you haven't done so yet, please smash that follow button. And I'm not always I shouldn't lie to you. I am always backwards, but I'm messing with some things, cameras, mics, all that tonight or this morning. So if I sound bad, look bad, can't change the looks. But if I sound bad and I'm really just look like I'm completely lost in what I'm doing, that's because I am. And shout out to Bryce. again, if Bryce is still here, you're a rock star, my guy. Thank you for hanging out on YouTube. I appreciate you, man. Because I am currently live on YouTube, TikTok, and the platform formerly known as Twitter. So, yes, David asked if you're still here, David, if I am ready for the draft. That is absolutely what I'm been ramping up. As I shared a little bit with you folks about how life has been, has kicked me in the undercarriage here over the course of the past few months. So I'm really just kind of checked out of all things extracurricular, but what I'm looking forward to now is the draft. Now, once I really get into the weeds about my Colts in the draft, maybe not so much, but we will. It's cool. I will say this: being here and in the Bay Area and Tampa, it's cool to see. It's cool to see how other teams do things, how other, owners, GMs, head coaches, fans, all of that, how they embrace the team, how they don't embrace a team. I know Tampa isn't the standard across the league, but, being born and raised and growing up in Indy and as a Colts fan my entire life, it's been an experience to see, things outside of the for the shoe realm, for lack of a better term. So it's been fun. Brian says, I'm studying criminal justice. Do I need to be a cop first or can I go straight into forensics? Oh, absolutely not. I'll tell you this. And what I mean by absolutely not is no, you absolutely do not need to be a cop first. A lot of times those, and for those that know me, I've worked in Indy. Let me see. I've worked in Indy most of my life in law enforcement, meaning in Indianapolis, Marion County, large city with a lot of moving pieces and moving parts in the in the criminal justice realm. So when it comes to Indianapolis Metropolitan Forensics, Indianapolis Marion County Forensics, and that can mean, gunshot residue, DNA, blood splatter, any kind of crime that has been committed, where there is going to be an investigation, a thorough investigation done. You're looking at felonious type crimes. You're going to have the forensics is going to come out and do their thing. My point to that is a lot of times personality wise, those two don't line up. They don't. No, don't get me wrong. There's been people I've met that have done both, that have had their, dipped their toe in both realms and have done, great or done well in both areas. However, to be a cop, I will say this. Thank you for those likes. If you guys would tap that screen, for those of you on TikTok, I don't know if there's any likes or anything you can do on YouTube or Twitter, but I'll figure it out. But you've really got to have that type A personality when it comes to being a police officer, because talking and people, you're in the people business. That's it. And I tell folks all the time, the biggest thing, one of the biggest qualities that people need to have to be a successful law enforcement officer that agencies around the country don't focus enough on, it's engagement. It's talking to folks. It's people skills. And I would rather have, because you can teach damn near anybody how to be a cop. You really can. That doesn't mean, doesn't mean they're going to do it well. If they don't have that passion to do it or whatnot, doesn't mean they're going to be great at it. But just the typical ins and outs, the black and white as far as policy, procedure, the things to do, not do, that sort of thing. You can teach almost anybody to do that, right? However, to really be great at it, to do it at a next level, A, you need to have that passion, and B, you've got to be able to talk to people. It's and I've worked with guys who absolutely hate people, and they went into law enforcement. I'm like, oh my lord, you Sherry, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Yeah, that have gone into law enforcement. I'm like, what in the hell were you thinking? Like, did you not have any idea what this job was? I know you did. Did you think you were going to be a good cop? Did you think you would just get out of talking to people? And that's when, and sadly, this is if you've ever interacted with one of the guys or gals on the street in uniform that you're like, man, that person is a what, or that they shouldn't be doing that job. You very well could be right, because I've experienced it. I've worked alongside those people. It doesn't mean they're bad at their job, but with that aspect of it, yeah, the interaction part of it is a huge part of what you do, and it's a huge part of what the outcome is. You go back to, I don't know if any of you ever heard the E plus R equals O. The event, the response equals the outcome. The event plus the response equals the outcome. So whatever that officer's response is to the event when they show up, when they have somebody that's amped up, um, you know, or whatever the case may be on the scene. And if they're not good at talking with someone and de-escalating folks, then that's that's bad news bears, man. They're going to be they're going to ramp stuff up when it's unnecessary to do so. So my long answer to that: do you need to be a cop in forensics to go into forensics? Absolutely no. You absolutely do not need to, and don't think that that's strange or rare. Simply because those that there's a lot of awesome folks that are in forensics that would be terrible cops because they don't like people. Uh, you know, they barely like the people that they have to work with in the office. You know what I mean? Or out in the field, they will interact with the officers in the field just as as much as they need to get the information they need to, and then they're doing their own thing. So forensics from my perspective, from and I've never done the job, so I can't speak. I can't speak from. It could be completely different, but I don't think. I don't believe it is. Um, that's something that's a job that you're going to have. That's not. I'm taking these off. Wearing headphones is hard. That's a job that is, you're not going to have much supervision. You're going to be able to, you have to work well on your own independently. You're going to need, you know, you can't be somebody that needs to hold your hand all the time. And that's, if you're not a type A personality, which don't get me wrong, I'm not saying if you're a type A personality, you can't go into forensics because that's not the case. Is it echoing, Bab? Thank you. That's the feedback I need. Thank you. Hold on. Because I've got like 15 things going on, Eileen. That's what I came on late and I'm trying to figure this out. Because I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. All right, what about YouTube? Let's see something here. I probably jacked with that too much. Is that any better? No, thank you. I figured it would be at some capacity. That's why I waited till late to come on here because I have no idea. TikTok is making me. Um, I have Riverside FM for the other two, but TikTok will not allow me to stream um, to that platform until I go live at least for 25 minutes on 3 separate occasions through TikTok Studio, which is just silly. So, is it still echoing on TikTok? Because I'm not getting anything. Okay. Thank you. And that was the whole point of me going live tonight was to hopefully find some folks like you that could give me some feedback on what the hell I'm doing. All right. Eileen, give me just a minute if you would. How are you, by the way? What is up, man? Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out TikTok Live Studio because I've never been on here at all. I don't care about any of that jazz. All right, move this. All right. Mixer. Effects. And I'm using the same mic for all three, so that's something else that's different as well. So if one platform's acting a fool, then come on now. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. No, I'm on my laptop. That's what they finally have TikTok Studio for mobile, I believe. But I don't know why they punish you, I guess, for lack of a better term, because you guys know how much at least I used to go live. Um, None of that counts. They treat me like I'm brand new when I'm going to live because they're pushing this TikTok Live Studio, um, which is silly. So I'm trying to figure it out at the same time as because Riverside FM, it is basically like TikTok Live Studio, but I can go to all of my platforms at one time, which is ultimately what I want to do. Is what I'm trying to do. What's good? All right. I'm guessing I hear it. Now I do hear it. All right. Hopefully I will come back. If not, I'll restart it and try it again. Let me see. Dude, that's the thing. I've got so many damn settings going on for different things here. And I'm using the same mic. I'm using the same mic for both platforms. Offset monitor output. It wasn't as bad when it started. So when it started out, it was, Aiden, what's good, man? Hold on. Okay. Did that help at all? No, maybe a little, but not enough. Reduces echo and enhances audio quality. Yeah, well, it's what I've been trying to do for quite some time. And it's been driving me absolutely bonkers trying to figure it out. And thankfully, all of the technology is starting to catch up. Is the echo any better? Because it's not in my head. It's not in my headphones and it's driving me crazy. But as long as you guys can hear me, that's all that matters. What's going on, my guy? No, it's probably because I have both platforms up. But oh, that's probably the TV. Why? And I've got that damn thing. All right, let's see. See, I appreciate you all so much. This is all the input I needed. Is that any better? And I've got other I have to use too. This is just this is just the first one I started with. A little. That's what, did I hit that 25-minute mark yet? And what I'm about to do, because now that I know that I'm about to stop my YouTube and Twitter live stream and see how much that changes anything. So, Bryce, if you're still here on YouTube, which I believe you are, I appreciate you, man. I will be back momentarily.